A lot of people have been talking about this video that came out recently of people in this is Chicago standing on what is this, a bridge or something? And they go here on Sunday evenings and scream into the void to relieve stress. Let's see what this looks like. Probably a volume warning would be in order.
Two, one.
That was horrific. I'm so sorry. This guy cracks me up. I want to be positive about this. Okay, we don't need to hate on these people. I posted this on X and retweeted it saying this is proof that there's no such thing as a non-religious person, which is true. There is no such thing as a non-religious person. Everybody is religious. Humans are by nature religious. This is what the catechism says very plainly and beautifully. And so the answer isn't, or the question rather isn't, am I going to be religious or non-religious? It is, what is going to be your religion? Because you're going to have a religion whether you know it or not. And it's better to know it so that you can actually have some agency in it rather than just try to pretend that you don't have a religion and then that is chosen for you, as we've seen many, many times. But I'm trying to see what is something positive we can take from this. There's people getting together, they're going outside. People don't do that anymore. That's good. And also, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. But isn't this kind of what people do with sports? I mean, you go to a sports game, and look, I love sports, by the way. I love soccer. Soccer is the best sport. I also love kickboxing. I love sports. But when you go to a sports, if you go watch in person, especially a sports game, you go there and you scream and you get really into whatever's going on. The weird thing about this, what these guys are doing, is that they're not reacting to anything. They're just screaming for the sake of screaming rather than screaming in reaction to something that's just happened in a sports game, for example. My wife hates when I watch soccer because standing up, I'm pacing. I don't sit down throughout an entire soccer match. I'm pacing throughout the room. I'm screaming. I'm shouting. It's horrible. But it is kind of a source of stress relief in a way. So is what these people are doing very much different from that? And at least they're going outside and they're getting some sun and they're with friends and they're hugging each other and crying for some reason. But interestingly, so this is a thing to relieve stress. You know who has less stress? People who are part of organized religions. You know what's been scientifically proven to reduce stress? Praying the rosary every day, especially with a group of people. So instead of going out into the Chicago whatever, what is this? Is this like that big river or whatever that goes through the middle of Chicago? Instead of going out there and screaming, actually, organized religion has shown very positive benefits for mental health, including depression, anxiety, substance abuse, um, self unalivement ideation is reduced by just being part of a religion and regularly practicing that religion, especially Christianity. There's actually been studies in other countries, and I wish I prepared the material on this, but I don't have it up. But there's been studies in other countries, like Asian countries, for example, Japan, and actually in some of those countries, the more religious you are, the less likely you are to have positive mental health outcomes. And I think it's because those are um, specifically, in some senses, atheistic religions. And so I really believe that Christianity specifically is what's going to give you the best mental health outcomes because it is, in fact, true. And when you live in accordance with reality, you tend to have better mental health outcomes. So, screams with Sarah. Let's go. Rosary maxing is indeed the way, everybody. It is the way. And take it from somebody who used to struggle with panic attacks, anxiety, all kinds of ridiculous mental health stuff. It turned out like if you just pray the rosary and go to mass on Sundays, go to confession regularly, maybe lift weights or do some kind of physical activity, you're probably going to be okay. So, I recommend that.